I'm Been There, Done That. We're with Podcast Junkies.
Been there, but I have not done it yet.
Yeah, well, this is you doing it.
I've been there doing that.
What's up, everybody? I'm Pod Castro, and this is the Been There, Done That podcast. Yo! I told you, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Been There, Done That. I am your host, Pod Castro. Welcome back. It is so nice to have you guys here. Welcome back to another beautiful day. Remember, always go out and appreciate what you have. We want to take a moment and thank, our mothers, our fathers, our people close to us, and just being able to take another breath. You woke up today, so be proud of it. Make it 1% better today than you were yesterday. And today I'm so excited to introduce my guest. And, we've actually known each other now. It's almost 2 years, and it blows my mind. We have worked together. I've been a part of his show for, a long time. And, he came into the studio, sees my logo and goes, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's my show." He's like, "You have a show? What the fuck?" And I was like, man, well, you want to be on it? And little did he just, of course, let's do it. And me and this gentleman we've had our great talks. We've had our, our laughs. We've even, we've maybe smoked a couple joints around, but hey, I don't know if I could say that, so we might edit that out. But moving forward, I wanted to give you a little background on the word real estate. Real estate. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to introduce my guest. Harry, welcome to Been There, Done That. I'm Podcaster. How you doing?
Wow. First of all, I got to say that introduction video was a sight to see. I got pumped up just watching it.
Right, man?
I mean, I have to say that was great to see. And I think, people who have podcasts, I'm certain other people do this, but I don't see everybody doing stuff like this. I might have to incorporate this myself.
Hey, well, I can tell you right now, I got someone that can hook you up with it. So
Wow.
We'll talk on that.
Okay.
First question for you. Do you know what the word real estate comes from?
The word real estate, where it comes from?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I've never actually been asked that question, someone who's in the field of real estate. It's a very broad term in general speaking. Real estate covers so many different fields. It's not just what you think of, it's, buying and selling homes. There's a whole field of people who dedicate a lot of time and effort into real estate, when it could be land, it could be agricultural, it could be commercial, building spaces, retail, affordable housing. So many different fields. So real estate is a very broad term. But I like to hear what you're going to come up with.
The thing is, I try and find an interesting fact that either pertains to my guest that's coming on the show, or just, a cool thing that I'm like, oh, we could definitely bond on this. Well, I looked it up and I was like, what is real estate? What does real estate mean? And it comes from the Latin res, which is thing, and the old French word estat, status or condition. So real estate literally means the status of the thing, referring to the ownership of land and property. So basically, owning real estate has always been tied to power and position, even way back when it first started.
Well, estate is a powerful word, right? When you think of estate, you think of grand, you think of large. Even in real estate terms, when you think of someone has an estate, you figure they have a pretty large home. It's not just your average, 3-bed, 2-bath, single-family type of home. It's grand. And real shows you that, it's more than just the word real, which is, it's there, it's actually there, but it's tangible items. And real estate overall is, it's grand, it's broad, and you have a lot of things. I didn't know it came from that Latin root. But you have a lot going on with real estate.
You have a lot going on. And I the reason why I did that, I just wanted to kind of welcome you, man. Harry, we've known each other, like I said in the intro, we've known each other for a long time. I consider you as a friend, man. I
would hope so.
Yeah, we've been working together, but also we've had some really cool times. And, I'm starting to, every time you come, I do learn a lot about you. you came in here and I was like, hey, what kind of, I mean, you have awards, you've won, leadership, you work with the Worth Group, a top tier. I've actually heard of that group before. So can you tell me a little, like, did you always have a passion for real estate?
I'd say it started pretty young. I mean, it wasn't something that I automatically wanted to do. Growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to do so many different things growing up. I wanted to be in the sports field at one point too. But as life kept going, and I grew up in New York, on the east end of Long Island, and was able to witness some incredible homes being built throughout, especially in the Hamptons specifically. So seeing the process and also getting my hands a little wet with family real estate transactions and really just understanding the landscape of it got me very intrigued. And so when I moved down to South Florida 4 years ago.
So real quick, was your family always in real estate? Like, was it something that you grew up with, just noticing?
My family did a lot of transactions, so
Okay.
It would be something where, I'll give you an example. Even I've had my uncles who have owned large lots of land. They've developed them out, and then they sell them bits by piece. And it's a whole process to do that. And then, even goes down to just transactional things like buying and selling homes. Easy and, just what it looks like. The development, seeing homes getting built, going up. I mean, there's completely different fields. Now, when I joining the Worth Group, was a great experience for me because I joined a team that was able to take me under their wing and kind of show me the ropes of how it's done in South Florida, because it's very different than it was done in New York. I mean, New York transactions typically last, 3-4 months. Here in South Florida, in Florida in general, it's usually about a 30-day turnaround time for a buyer to go under contract and then close and move into their place.
Oh, that's a significant difference.
Big difference.
I mean, that changes the workflow of everything that you kind of probably learned in New York.
New York, that's why a lot of states, they have reciprocity, I believe that's the word, where you could have your license in a state and then it'll be valid in a few other states, but the New York and Florida, they don't reciprocate each other. So Florida has also a few states that has similar laws and rules around real estate, where if you're licensed in, let's say, Georgia, you'd also be a licensed agent in Florida, but not in New York. New York has other states that meet their standards, and so when I came down here, I had to get relicensed, learn the
basically
rules
start
and
over,
regulations of South Florida. It is starting over.
You didn't have to take the course again, I'm assuming, or did you?
Oh no, I had to start from scratch.
Oh, so you literally had to.
Pass multiple exams. And then obviously keep my license intact. But you have to pass a state exam, and it's not just an easy exam that you just go through and say, oh, I'm going to get it done. You need to know a lot. And one thing I will say is, I mean, for anyone who's really in real estate or about to get their license, one thing I will say is what they teach you in the courses will definitely be on the test, but what they don't teach you in the courses will also be in the tests. So that means you have to study a lot. And I didn't pass the first time. I actually failed by 2 points.
Wow.
Which stinked. But I didn't want to take too long to, go back and take the state exam. So I literally, because you pass and fail on the spot. Once you finish, you know your results. And when I realized that I failed, I went in my car and I scheduled for my next exam the next day. And what I did for the next 21 hours, other than eat and sleep, was just study everything that I questioned and I wasn't sure about. So I felt better about it when I took the exam. It's a hard exam to pass. I wouldn't say it's like passing your LSATs for an attorney or going to med school or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's a hard exam. They don't just want anyone to pass. They want to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
because you're dealing with a lot of people's money.
A lot of people's money, but also like that right there is a lesson for, the audience. It's really, you didn't let that failure stop you. It almost pushed you harder. It pushed you to go, wait, I failed. Okay, I'm doing this the next day. I'm going to go home. I'm going to, like what you're saying is you literally remembered, oh man, I remember I messed up on that one. I messed up on that. Oh, I didn't feel so comfortable on answering this. And you said to yourself that I want to be the top. I want to be able to go in there and be like, oh, I knew this question. I messed this question up last time. Now I got to fix it.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, the thing is, you can expect that a lot of the questions that you'll see again, they're either going to be the same or very similar. So you're going to get those right. And then the ones that you sit there and doubt, the handful, maybe 10, 15, 20 questions, whatever it was, maybe not every single one you're going to remember, but you're going to remember the ones that you sat there for a few minutes and were thinking about it, and you knew it wasn't C or D, and it could only be A or B, and if you got it wrong, then it was probably the other one. You go look and make sure, and that's what I did. I also didn't want to lose anything that I did remember on the exam for later on and give it a few days. So I just want to get back in there, pass. Now, I'm not saying that I've forgotten what I've passed with. You got to use that every day in real estate. You're only going to forget if you're not practicing. And I practice. I'm in real estate. I do transactions as much as I possibly can. I never shy away from business, whether it's a $1,500 rental or a $5 million listing. I'm not going to turn it away because everyone needs help in some sort of capacity.
And I love that. And I love that you have that that spark, that initiative to really help. Now, you spoke about the Worth Group, I believe, right? Is that what they're called?
That's the team I'm on.
The team that you're on. So what makes the Worth Group different from other broker? It's a broker.
Collaboration.
Oh, I love that.
The team was started with 2 people about 5 years ago, I'd say, under the brokerage of Fortune. And since then, they've expanded to about 20 agents under the team. So they went from 2 to 20. And basically run most of the luxury real estate in Boca Raton and Palm Beach County, expanding to Broward, because I'm in Broward. I mostly work out of Fort Lauderdale, so I'm kind of their go-to for anything that happens in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Hallandale. There's a couple other people on our team too that are also down in that area, but we've differentiated ourselves from a lot of what other agencies and teams do because we market a lot, and we market in different ways. I mean, I'm not, and you know me, I'm not going to be the one who's going to explain to you the details of what the marketing steps are, the technological side on things.
I know Harry. He doesn't. He doesn't want to do that.
I barely know how to use my cell phone, so I can't really break it down for you. But we have. So one of the founders, she's actually just like really a marketing guru. That's her field, and then the other founder is more of the sales transactional side. They both do both, but one is stronger than the other in the other category. And I mean, I could show you the marketing. I could show you what they put out there, the types of videos and renderings and the edits. And I mean, it's incredible, right? My team has multiple listings ranging from $1,500 rentals to $10 million listings in Boca Raton. So it's not about, we're going to seclude people and we're just going to tailor to one group of people. And some groups, they succeed that way because they know what they're doing. But we have a variety of agents that are willing to take on projects, and they're willing to take on deals because they know that at the end of the day, volume is key. Yeah. You do that transaction, you don't know if that $1,500 rental will one day be $1 million purchase.
Of course.
So that's why you don't want to turn away from anybody.
And it sounds like you do make a good team, like it's a family. Like you guys all know each other. It seems like you guys are able to help one another.
We would hope that if someone needed help on our team, they'd come to us, right? And now I've been considering, there's 20 agents. I've been there probably longer than 16 of them.
Oh, wow.
So you have 2 founders and 2 other people, and I might be the 5th over the last 4 years who have joined. People come and they go and they leave and they join, whatever the case is. I've been there longer than most of the other agents do. And, our founders are very busy and they have a lot going on, and they're always very helpful as much as they possibly can. But now I've, noticed, and I put it out there myself too, because I want to see my teammates succeed. If they have questions, feel free to call me, text me if I can answer your question. If it's something to do with the contracts and, you're not sure about what the condo rider is supposed to include, depending on the association, give me a call. I'll help you out as much as I possibly can on what needs to be filled out, what doesn't need to be filled out.
See, I was going to say real quick, there might be a time where we have to have you back on so we can dive a little bit deeper, because there's a lot of stuff that I know you're very, very smart. You are one of the most intelligent people that I've spoken to.
Don't make me blush.
No, I know. I'm not trying to blow your head up, but I'm like, we've had conversations where I'm like, man, this guy's making me think. And I love that. That's important when I have a conversation with someone, because I also know you're hearing me. You're hearing me when I speak to you and I give you almost like something that you're like, oh, wait. That's actually a good point. Oh, Ben, what do you think in this way? And like we're having an educated, what could I say? Like a mindfulness conversation. There's a lot of times conversations can just be very surface, right? We're just, oh yeah, how's your day, man? Good. But like we've gone a little bit deeper.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially when we're recording some of the other podcasts that we do, and we have a few minutes beforehand, and our brains start working, and we have conversations. I mean, we're people, right?
Yeah.
We've known each other for so long, and we've told each other things about each other. And at the end of the day, the only thing I'd say is we don't judge.
Yep.
You know, there's no point in judging because nobody's perfect. We live on a planet with 8 billion people on here. You know, there's going to be a lot of different types of personalities and opinions you're going to see and you're going to hear. And it's fine. And it is what it is.
It's fine. And also the craziest part is like that I don't think a lot of people think about. You said there's 8 billion people on this world.
With a B.
With a B. And the fact that you are sitting right next to me and we're talking to each other blows my mind every time I think about it. And if you actually take it even further, go to the amount of people that were ever on this planet in general, like at the time, right? The fact that me and you are here sitting, like it just blows my mind. So moving from there, I have a pretty cool question about real estate that I want to know. Like, was there ever a time where you were like, damn, I made it?
Probably getting my first $1 million listing. That felt really good because
that would feel pretty good.
I had done a fair share of transactions, mostly lower volume, rentals, a lot of rentals because I wasn't shying away from business and I wanted to make sure that I was getting as much as I possibly can done.
Experience, sure.
But when I got my first $1 million listing, or I should say my first time doing $1 million transaction, because that happened before I got my first $1 million listing. I did $1 million transaction before that. Actually, it was $1.3 million. And that was the moment where I said to myself, okay, I can do this and I can do this very well. And that was the turning point in real estate for me because when you can do those types of transactions and you could do them as effectively as you can for the person that you're representing, you feel really good about that. And I mean, that was, I'd say, one of the easier deals that I've done because it was translated really well from buyer and seller. And we made sure communication is key for anybody who's listening. Communication is so key in representing your clients in a transaction. So that, because we had such key communication, the transaction was super easy and it led to a smooth and easy closing. Then after that, a couple months later, I got my first $1 million listing where I was actually the listing agent on the transaction. I'd say the first transaction, actually just representing someone on the side of a $1 million transaction, was amazing. And then actually getting your own listing where you're representing it and it's your essentially baby because you're going to market it. You're going to, put it out there for people to see and get it sold and things like that. Those were the moments really, where you say, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. As long as I want to do this, I'm going to do this.
Man, you just touched on, this was like my next question, but you kind of touched on communication and your passion. But if you were to tell the audience, what separates a great agent from an average one?
Okay, let's start with an average agent. An average agent, there's a lot of them out there. An average agent will listen.
Most of them, right?
Right. An average agent will listen and do. A great agent will advise. That's the difference. Because at the end of the day, we have buyers and sellers who don't know what's best. And sometimes they make demands. And at the end of the day, we're going to do what they ask us to do. That's our job. But we have to also advise them and clear the image for them so that they understand what they'd be getting themselves into in certain situations. So we have to advise. A great agent advises their clients on the right decisions based on real estate transactions. If they, the buyer seller say, okay, I appreciate your advice, but I'm going to do it this way. Okay, at least at that point, you've laid it out for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've given them the tools, and now it's their time to be able to, you are there. I love that. You're advising them, but if at the end of the day, they don't have to take it, right? But at least you have put those cards on the table, and then, they come around and be like, Harry, why didn't you? I'm like, you're like, yo, I did. I told you multiple times.
And one piece of advice I'd have to give to any agent out there who wants to be a great agent is don't be afraid if the deal is going to collapse. It's not the end of the world. You want to represent your client in its entirety. So which means I'll give you an example. If you have a really bad inspection, you're representing the buyers, and it's just not great, and you can't seem to gap the bridge between the buyer and the seller. Buyer really wants the property, seller's playing tough ball. A good agent would probably be able to close that transaction out and say, buyer, this is the deal. I'm just making things very generic.
Yeah.
This is the way things are. Take it and go. Buyer will probably take it. A great agent would sit with their buyer and say, you shouldn't have to take this if you don't feel it's right. And if we feel like we should be getting more and they're not giving it to us, well, this is your timeline to back out of this deal, and we'll go continue looking for something else for you that makes more sense. And that's why I say don't be afraid if the transaction falls apart, because if you do everything you can for that client of yours, they're going to obviously continue to look. They're going to find something else.
But they know your intentions are
Exactly.
in the right mind. They're saying, oh, wow, this guy isn't just trying to get my money. He actually cares of what I am doing. Like, yes, he's advising, but he also is saying, hey, like, if you're not comfortable, let's go. I'm more than happy to help you find something else.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it is, because you don't want them to move into that type of property and then feel like it didn't go in their best interest and then you never hear from them again, because that's not what real estate's about. I want to hear from you every 6 months, 12 months, a couple of years. Reach out, connect, see how things are going.
Hey,
invite
Harry,
you to my office. Come
I got
by.
a family now. I have a family in the house that you sold me, man. Like,
Exactly.
look at my little girl. Send you a picture of my, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, I think those are the moments that I mean, just from the outside perspective, I feel like that is what would make being a real estate agent something that you can't ever take away.
And who knows, maybe they have a family member who's now looking to buy too, and they felt like that memorable experience is now something that they want to share with their friends or family or someone that they know that's buying real estate. It's happened to me multiple times, and it feels really good. For an agent, when you get a referral from someone you've done a transaction with, there's no better feeling, because you know you did such great service for that individual or that representation of those clients, and that they're going out of their way to express your services to somebody else who needs it. Then they call you, and now you're working with someone else. There's no better feeling.
Well, I do love that. And I got to just say, I think you gave a lot of really key notes, a lot of really good stuff for our audience, especially for people going into real estate. I know it's a huge field. It's a big industry. But now I would like to kind of move on to a little bit of passion of Harry. Because, Harry, I've been with you for so long, and I just have to give you your flowers, man. I have never met someone that has made me want to watch sports more. Like, man, like listening to you and your passion of how you speak on things, like I would guarantee that if someone asked me who I would put up against, the top of the top, it'd be you, man. And Josh. Yeah, I give Josh some flowers too. But you're here. You are... Where did that spark come from? How? Because, man, I love the games. I love, any sports. I'm a huge, I love the game, but man, no, how did you get to know all the players? Where did that come from? Like, where did the passion of cards and all these things, like, where did that come from? Are you just a really smart guy? Is that just it? Are you just like...
I wouldn't go down that route, because there's a lot of sports enthusiasts and they know a lot, and they know a lot of things that I know as well. I'm not going to sit here and say I know absolutely everything, but I appreciate the kind words, because I've watched sports my whole life. I mean, as early as I can remember, 7, 8 years old, starting to put on some Yankee games, because that was the first sport that I really got attached to, was baseball, at least particularly professionally speaking. I played basketball a lot growing up, so I loved watching basketball. I loved watching all sports really growing up. It wasn't just one, but it came in phases from sport by sport. And, it became, okay, baseball was the first thing that I was watching. And when I was watching baseball, it was, all right, get to know the players that you're rooting for, which is specifically the Yankees. Those teams had a lot of great players on them too, so it wasn't very hard to forget them. But then when you're watching so many baseball games, you're seeing so many other players from the other teams when you're watching your team. And you start remembering them. I mean, back in the day, well, I say back in the day, but it was only a couple of years ago where they made a change in baseball where you played your division 19 times in a season. So you have 4 of the teams in your division. You're playing those same 4 teams almost 80 times. you're going to remember those guys that you see 19 times each. And so as a fan watching so much, that's what was happening. I would just remember I learned a lot about these players. The stats were probably the freakiest part about what I was remembering. I mean, the 2009 Yankees specifically, I would remember some stats. I mean, I don't know if I could pull them out of my rear end right now, but I was remembering numbers like it was weirder than people should, because I would just go back in and start looking up the Yankee stats and start picking out numbers and sticking them into my brain and remembering them for some weird reason. So I have a huge passion for sports, you know that, and I could go on and on and on about sports. So if you want to ask something specific, I'd love to ask.
Well, what I was going to kind of go to is actually going to our Beyond the Score. I know we started, because we do have to kind of wrap the show up pretty soon, but I wanted to kind of go ahead and, of course, plug the podcast that you guys do. I love it, but where did that come from? Where did that spark come from?
Passion for sports. It was more of a hobby.
No, the Beyond the Score.
Beyond the Score.
Oh, was passionate. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was, something for me was a hobby. I really wanted to talk with my best friend and just express our love for sports, our knowledge for sports. And if there was anyone out there who wanted to listen to us talk about that, wonderful. But sitting here at this desk and, having this podcast with my best friend talking about sports, both him and I go back 20 years. And we have a lot of sports memories over those 20 years. And sports is not something that's dying anytime soon. So just to be able to have this plethora of information to just be able to talk about that we love to talk about and just have a way of expressing it, that's why Beyond the Score was created, so that me and him could sit down, talk about sports. And if there's a viewership out there who said, wow, we like what these guys are saying, we want to hear what they're saying, comment away, ask away, anything. I mean, I love being told I'm crazy. I tell people, I'm like, call me crazy if you think one of my takes on an event was insane. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, it goes back to the 8 billion people on this planet, right? There's so many different opinions. Not everyone's going to agree with you. Whether or not it seems like the surefire answer, there's going to be a group of people out there who's going to say, no, I don't agree with that. And so I love it when I'm told I'm crazy in sports. I message people on Instagram. I'm like, that's a crazy take.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, the passion for sports combined with wanting to do this as a hobby with your best friend all became Beyond the Score podcast.
I love it, man. I love it. And I love what we've created here. You guys do such a good show, the structure. Everybody definitely go ahead, subscribe to Beyond the Score podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. It's all over the place. They've been doing it. They've got like 50 episodes, almost 50 episodes actually. So it's amazing. And Harry, I do want to just say thank you so much for coming on the show. This was a great time. I know we've been, our relationship has just grown. Like we're first work colleagues. Now I'm like, you're a friend of mine. Like I want to go hang out. We're playing Rivals tonight. It's going to be a good time. So again, man, if there's maybe 2 takeaways that you could go ahead and give our audience a piece of advice, what would you give them?
If you're ever considering buying, do it. That's one. I always tell people, if you're going to buy and you're considering it, you go out there and you buy, because you're never dating the rate, you're buying the home. That's one piece of advice. Second piece of advice would be watch more sports. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Sports brings continuity together. It shows collaboration and it shows a lot of teamwork, specifically in team-oriented sports. And it's a great way to watch people grow together, chemistry built, and it makes a great way for, the younger generation to really learn a lot from, some of the great athletes on our planet.
I love it. And that's one thing, I wish I was a little bit more educated on with sport. I love a good game, love watching, I love playing basketball, but, that's what I take from you and your Beyond the Score podcast. And when you come in here, I learn so much. So I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being on the show. And we'll have to do it again, man.
Thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun, and look forward to sharing more of my information to all these wonderful viewers at this amazing name, Been There, Done That, at the Pod Castro, and of course the Podcast Junkie Studio, which has put this all together.
Honestly, I kind of like that. You just signed me off. All right. Bye, guys. See ya.